Good evening. Yeah, there's a gap. Now let's continue our series, that is important question series for prelims 2020. So important questions series 9. Series 9. I think I already finished around 39 questions, if I'm not wrong. Otherwise, 29 questions. I think with this I'm going to finish now. 10 questions I have lined up now. These 10 questions, yes, overall we will finish 50 questions. So rest 50 also I'll try my level best as early as possible. I'll finish. Then I'm going to start after this 50 questions completion of this current affairs. I'm going to start another series, subject wise 100, which are supposed to be most important questions. And those important questions subject wise, like I'll start with economy, then I'll start with polity, history, etc., all the subjects, and science and technology and other subjects I will ask other faculty to. Otherwise, if in case I'm not able to get the faculty during this lockdown situation, I will try to give you the question so that you will have hand in hand. So our aim is to clear prelims at any cost with these questions. Appreciate my effort, and you also continuously please listen to these lectures and take the printouts of this material and make sure you revise this material before you go for examination. All right, first one. Consider the following statements. Following pairs of schemes and their respective objectives. All right. The scheme is solar buildings program. Objective is to promote widespread construction of energy efficient solar green buildings in the country, and that is true. So solar buildings program is basically to promote widespread construction of energy efficient solar green buildings in the country, so that power consumption from solar energy is going to be more. The next important thing is solar cities program. This is also correct matching I gave you. That is to reduce projected demand for conventional energy by a minimum of 10% at the end of 5 years. So conventional energy, basically we have got thermal energy, we got hydroelectricity. We are hugely dependent on thermal energy and hydroelectricity. So if we wanted to actually reduce the dependence on this conventional energy, because there's going to be a coal shortage in future, there's going to be gas and oil shortage, so that will definitely have a negative impact on the production of thermal energy. Then we do have this hydroelectricity problem. So exclusive dams capacity in terms of producing electricity depending on water is in the long run it is not really very good. So therefore there are two very important programs. That is solar buildings program. We wanted to actually construct solar efficient. Most of the airports now, greenfield international airports, where they derive maximum amount of electricity, almost close to 70% of their electricity to run airports is actually derived from solar energy. That is why they are also called as greenfield international airports. Then we have a solar cities program to reduce demand for conventional, that is thermal hydroelectricity demand. We need to reduce it drastically by about at least 10% in the next 5 years. That is the point. Okay, so which of the following is correctly matched? That is C answer, both 1 and 2. So remember these programs for the sake of. So if you look at this solution, renewable energy, this is one thing in 2009 which aims to promote widespread construction. Okay, this is basically for capacity building, awareness, seminar, workshops, etc., that you go through. If any explanation is required, I'm going to discuss that, but I will be able to tell you what exactly will be there for the next exam series, if in case you are confused as to what exactly you need to read. Okay, move on to the second question. Second question is, consider the following pairs of international conventions related to environmental protection. International conventions, okay, related to environmental protection and the respective pollutants, substances with which they are related to. International conventions and environmental protection. This kind of questions are related to environment concept. So I'm telling you this kind of questions definitely. And if you could see last 4 years question papers, you will see lot of similar questions related to. So these kind of questions, please kindly don't, because for me compiling takes a lot of time. Try to understand, please. So that is also one reason sometimes, because I have to refer most of these questions. If you want me to tell you, the source is India yearbook, India yearbook is very important for prelims exam. Manorama yearbook is also very important. Yojana is one very important thing. Kurukshetra is one. With these three resources I have already gone through, and I'm trying to mobilize information. So this will definitely help you, because last year also, if you could see, close to 14 questions have come from India yearbook. So I don't want to take chances with respect to your preparation also. So therefore, this is one series. So another 100 current affairs series, I'm going to cover other sources of information. Especially I'm going to focus exclusively on Hindu newspaper and give you those 100 current affairs which will be useful for you to write 2020 October 4th. One is Basel Convention, the Basel, Switzerland place, hazardous waste. Next, Stockholm Convention, persistent organic pollutants, very important. These international conventions related to environmental protection is very, very important. Rotterdam Convention, hazardous chemicals and pesticides. So answer is D, 1, 2, 3. I deliberately gave you to make sure that you will remember correct answers, so that when you go for final exam, you will not have any. So Basel, hazardous waste. Stockholm Convention, persistent organic pollutants related. Rotterdam Convention is related to hazardous chemicals and pesticides. Remember please, hazardous waste and hazardous chemicals. Basel, BSR, okay, and here HPH, remember in that way. So this is like movements, hazardous waste and their disposal was adopted in 1989, Basel in Switzerland, and the overarching objective of Basel Convention is to protect human wealth. This could be another type of question they can ask you. And the scope of the application covers wide range of waste defined in hazardous waste, all types of waste. And Rotterdam Convention on prior informed consent procedure for certain hazardous chemicals, this 2004. Okay, Stockholm Convention is related to treaty protect human health and environment. So basically, if you look at all these conventions, though the objective of each convention is literally not very different. The reason being, if you one is waste management, second thing is organic pollutants, third one is chemical pesticides. So basically, if you could see, all these are related to human health, the impact of environmental pollution on human health. So therefore, these conventions have drastically designed certain measures and procedures and methods to minimize this kind of pollutants. Okay, that is one thing. Next one. Yeah, next question. So this is also a convention sought to initially 12 chemicals, and now the convention covers 23. That Stockholm Convention covers 23 chemicals. That is also very important when it comes to yes. Next, third question. Third important current affairs here, you could see, consider the following statements about economic development, Eco Development Forces Scheme, EDFS, Eco Development Forces Scheme. Yeah, it is implemented by Ministry of Defense Eco Development Forces. Okay, it aims at set up volunteer organization for the restoration of forests. So answer is A, only one. That means it is not related to restoration of forests, because eco development, the moment you have this, you see the confusion here, the moment you see the eco development forces scheme, you will try to understand as if it is related to pakka restoration of forest or environmental protection, but it is something with reference to defense. Okay, see there, this scheme was established in the 1980s through Ministry of Defense for ecological restoration of terrains rendered difficult either to severe degradation. So we wanted to actually make them make the degradation, I mean, simply speaking, for law and order situation, if any terrain, any geographical region has become very difficult for us to protect such kind of places, so Defense Ministry has launched this program. Twin objectives, this is one, ecological regeneration and promotion of employment to ex-servicemen. So ex-servicemen, the people who are retired in the army at the age of, let's say, 35, 36 years, those guys will be still energetic. So for such people, to protect the environment, we can give them jobs. That is one thing. So this is one question you can expect. Again, objective, Ministry of Defense, restoration of terrains difficult for the law and order. And we have an objective, ecological region, I mean the areas which were devastated, which were degraded because of the environmental degradation, we wanted to rebuild, restructure, reconstruct such areas, and in this way the ex-military people are going to be utilized. That is one thing, right? Under this scheme, The establishment of operational expenditure on eco task force battalions raised by Ministry of Defense are reimbursed by Ministry of, so in this whatever money that is being incurred, the expenditure is actually going to be reimbursed by Ministry of Environment. So launched by defense, but the expenditure related all things will be reimbursed by the environmental ministry. Okay, that is one thing. Everybody clear? Next, if you could go quickly to the next question, that is, for which of the following fields funding is available by Global Environment Facility, GEF? Is asking for which of the following fields funding is available by Global Environmental Facility. Okay, for you almost all the things I gave. One is biodiversity, climatic change, land degradation, international waters. So when the question is given, what happens, this kind of questions, you might be little doubtful about fourth option because it's about international waters, but biodiversity, climate change, land degradation, chemicals and waste, you will understand, okay, related to global environmental, but the word global is there. So we are not only thinking about biodiversity of India, but also the international waters related. So the funding is available for this. So answer is D. So this was established in the year 1991. That is one thing. 183 countries is one thing you can remember, participant countries, and conventions, environmental convention so far: Convention on Biological Diversity, United Nations Framework Convention on Climatic Change, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like we have United Nations Convention on Combat to Desertification, we already had studied in the previous question, I mean in the previous discussion, and Stockholm Convention on pollutants related, and Minimum Convention and Mercury. So convention 1, 2, 3, 4, overall 1, 2, 3, 4 conventions were actually organized, and the number of members are 183 countries. Go through carefully. I'm just giving you the highlights and also the importance, which is very important for you to remember for prelims exam. Alright, the funding is going to be given for all these purposes. Purposes are very important. Number of conventions are also very important. How many countries have actually participated is very, very important. Okay. Next, move on to this year 5 local areas. Okay, this also remember. Next, under the aegis of which of the following organization the Financial Stability Board (FSB) is established? Under whose guidance? Aegis in the sense under whose guidance this board actually has been established. One is World Bank. This is very recently in the news. Okay, World Bank is one thing because meeting was held recently and there was a lot of discussion of online conference of this meeting. That's the reason. Okay, international model. So this was actually initiated by G20. Remember, solution D. FSB was established in 2009. That is very important, and the priorities are basically standard setting bodies, international financial institutions, for addressing developing and implementing strong regulator. This is the key word. I want to tell you, I want to talk on this for 2 seconds. Look here, 2 minutes. Financial Stability Board is basically the initiative which is launched by G20, group of 20 nations, most of the developed countries and few of the developing nations as well. What happens is across the globe right now there are a lot of money laundering cases like black money movement, and we also could see a lot of scams in the companies, scandals in the companies, and a lot of countries are actually destabilized financially, stock exchange issues, etc. Because so they suppose we have a banking system in India. This banking system is actually regulated by Reserve Bank of India. I think power is off. It's okay, I'll continue. Banking system is actually regulated by Reserve Bank of India, and we do have like for stock exchange, SEBI is a regulatory body. Like this, for see you understand this carefully. The standard, that means this body is mainly meant for setting up standards, which are mainly meant for developing or implementing strong regulatory supervisory policies. Like you see, interest of financial. So you want to you want to achieve financial stability in any country, so this FSB is going to play a key role. India is an active member in this. That is also very important. Okay, having 3 seats in its plenary session. Yes. Sixth one, consider the following pairs of schemes. Schemes are very important. You are not supposed to ignore schemes. You might ignore these questions thinking that but I'm telling you, these questions, you have to trust my experience. I told you Nobody can give you this much of compilation. Please make sure that you utilize this. Okay, Atal Pension Yojana, workers in unorganized sector. Pradhan Mantri Vyay Vandana Yojana, okay, senior citizens, etc. So I gave this to you to just tell you the concept. So Atal Pension is for workers unorganized sector, pension in unorganized sector, and Pradhan Mantri Vyay Vandana Yojana is for senior citizens. Okay, so launched in 2015. This is one this thing. And Atal Pension Yojana, who joined National Pension Scheme administered by so and so. This you have to remember. So this pension scheme will be implemented by Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority. That is one thing. And next one, any Indian citizen. This is very very important, please. Okay, 18 to 40 years of age can join this. Minimum pension 1000 to 2000. That is one thing. 1000, 2000, and 5000 guaranteed by Government of India to the subscriber at the age of 60 years. I repeat, 18 to 40 years people can join in this. Once they reach 60 years, they're going to be eligible for taking this pension with minimum cost. So that means minimum pension is guaranteed by so and so. Okay, the government launched Pradhan Mantri Vyaya scheme, elderly, that is aged 60. This is one thing you have to remember. This is being implemented through LIC of India. So here try to understand Atal Pension Yojana is actually being implemented by National Pension System by FPFRDA, that is a regulatory body. 2015 is one thing you should remember. And minimum pension under this senior citizens is this one. Okay, LIC of India through. Okay, next one more thing. It provides an assured return of 8% per annum, payable monthly for 10 years. Okay, this also is one thing. Difference between return generated by LIC and assured return of 8% would be borne by government. So whatever 8% that is guaranteed is going to be provided by LIC. Okay, so involvement, you remember, for each point, one point you try to pick up, please. Okay, this is very very important. I'm telling you, in this overall classmate, this is very important. Yeah, go through that notes, please. Next, seventh point, consider the following statements about the Investor Education and Protection Fund. Investor Education and Protection Fund, try to understand. Say for example, so okay, let me read the options. I'll explain briefly. The amount of dividend, mature deposits, mature debentures, application money, etc., etc. So let me explain this first. Okay, I'm not, you can't see me, but still try to. Okay, there's no power is off now here. Say for example, there's a company, you are a shareholder. When you took the shares, how do you get profits, right? When the company has profit, company will announce dividend every year. That is one thing. Similarly, some company must have raised money from the public in the form of deposit sometimes. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is, you have invested in debentures have to be repaid. That is one thing. Fourth one is application money, means at the time of purchasing shares, you actually have applied to purchase the shares, minimum 5% application money you have given. Once again, I'm coming. Company has announced dividend, you did not take it. Maybe you are abroad or something. You have invested in company deposits and you could not take the deposits when company was about to repay. You were not there, something. Then you invested in debentures and debentures were not actually taken by you. That is money which is left with the company, right? Next thing is, sometimes you gave an application, afterwards you somehow forgot, or whatever it is, somehow you could not apply for the further shares. So let's say 1 lakh you have decided to invest, you gave 5,000 rupees as the what you call the application money. Understood now? So look at this carefully. If you can't see me properly also, please try to. I'm extremely sorry for this power cut. Okay, so the dividend which is announced is not taken. Deposits which are matured are not taken by the deposit holder. Debentures which are supposed to be repaid are not taken. Application money where the shares are not allotted is not taken, etc., etc. So all these amounts, when they are unpaid, unclaimed by the shareholder or the concerned person, suppose you are a shareholder, you are supposed to get dividend, you did not get it for 7 years. From the due date, suppose being a company announced a dividend, you are supposed to get it somehow because of address change or whatever it is, somehow you could not get it, you're not available. So that money, if it is not claimed by the shareholder for about 7 years, that money, according to government rules, has to go to Investor Education Protection Fund. Understood? Now look at this. So he is asking about Investor Education Protection Fund. So all these payments which are unclaimed For about how many years? 7 years. Then afterwards, immediately within 90 days, you are supposed to send it to Investor Education Fund. Then you might ask one question, sir, if this money which is not claimed by the shareholder, deposit holder, debenture holder, these people, for 7 years it has gone to IEPF, then what if after 8 years or 9 years shareholders would want to take this money? After 8 or 9 years, if shareholders would want to take this money, he can directly make an application to IEPF. No issues. Forever, for lifetime, even after 30 years, you come and give the details that you could not claim this money because of several reasons. Then you apply to IEPF. It is your hard-earned money, so they will give you. With interest, they will give you. Don't worry about that. Okay? So Companies Act has the provision to establish. So yes, both are true. Okay, you understood? Overall, that is the discussion what I gave you. Next one, eighth one. Consider the following statements about Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Under this scheme, poorest of the poor households. This is very important. One is how much you have to remember. Okay, at rupees 1, 2, 3 per kg, etc. And it was launched in 2000 and implemented by Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Don't think about Ministry of Welfare, think about Consumer Affairs. How much per month they will be getting. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, so answer is 2. I mean C, both 1 and 2. You look here, this the same, whatever points are there, it is here. You just go through Ministry of Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution. Okay, that's easy, just go through please. Next, which of the following are the objectives of ethanol blending program? Very important, very important, very important, very important. Let's see, it's like the boost liquor industry, to save. So sometimes you will find options little odd, right? Little odd. So B option, you see, liquor industry something odd, foreign exchange is one thing, to reduce pollution is one thing, and this one. Okay, so answer is B, that is 2, 3 and 4 only. Which one? Ethanol blending program. So since ethanol is there, you might be thinking, okay, it is related to liquor industry. Science students might be thinking in that way, but it is not so. To increase value addition to sugar industry, to reduce pollution, and to save foreign exchange. These are the 3 important objectives of ethanol blending program. Everybody clear? So the discussion is given. Please do read this. Yeah. Next one, for which of the following crops the Operations Green is launched by Ministry of Food Processing Industry? Operations Green, very, very, very important. Yeah. One is this TOP, top, you remember. Operations Green, top, you remember. Tomato, onion and potato, launched by Ministry of Food Processing Industry. Okay, answer is D, that is 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, discussion is the same options, please go through. Only thing is this mission integrated development, this mission also remember please. Okay, yes, we are done with 10 questions. Please go through this, and all the very, very gunshot questions are compiled, and I'm pretty sure these questions you will only call me after October 4th prelims exam, that you're going to be very confident for about 40 marks, 40 to 45 marks. I'm pretty sure. I'm not simply wasting my time, I'm not wasting your time. Alright, all the very best. I'll come up tomorrow again with the next series. I will finish this rest 50 as early as possible so that I will start subject wise. Have a good day.